He slammed into the support so hard that he got decapitated.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Ouch. Well, I mean, he wouldn't feel it. But ouch. What is up, everybody? TGS here, and welcome to another video. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a reaction video to the 10 worst accidents at like theme parks, water parks, roller coasters, kind of a bundle up mixture together. There goes my fucking mic. Hold on, we're gonna fix that real quick. My bad. But no, thank you guys for everything. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get on into it. Let's start the reaction in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do it.
It makes you dizzy and trembling with fear. Don't get embarrassed. It's a pretty justified reaction, as this seemingly innocent attraction can turn into a horror movie at any moment. In 2019 alone, nearly 1,300 people got injured in American amusement parks. Unfortunately, some of them weren't lucky enough to survive. Now, rides kind of seem to be this deadly game where anyone can lose their life. But do you want to find out how far you can fly from the attraction, or if it's really possible to lose your head on a roller coaster? Or finally, if there's anything to protect you on those deadly rides? When you think of amusement parks these days, you imagine lots of incredible Transformer-like machines, each created specifically to bring joy and satisfaction. That's what, in 1930, visitors of Krug Park in Omaha, Nebraska thought about as well, especially when they saw the stunning Big Dipper attraction. It was a giant wooden roller coaster that impressed everyone with its...
See, I don't understand what people's idea was with the giant wooden roller coaster. Look at that. Babe, look at that. Does that look like it? Does that look safe to you? All wood.
It looks fine.
Oh, I bet it looks fun. That thing is gonna cause everyone's ass to have splinters.
The seats don't need to be wooden.
There's a chance of still getting splinters.
Okay, babe.
size and extreme popularity. So, on a warm summer evening, it was no surprise that all 4 carriages of the attraction were packed up with 23 passengers. The mechanism began to lift them up the first slope when, suddenly, there was a crack of wood,
Oh,
a
hell
loud
no.
roar, and then screams. It turned...
No. You're going up a roller coaster with 23 other people, and all of a sudden you hear cracking of wood. It cooked. It's over for you guys.
Turned out that one of the cars went off the rails, broke through the protective fence, and fell from a height of over 10 meters. Yet this...
The sound effect.
They fell 10 meters up in the air. All those people are gone.
No.
was just the beginning of a terrible tragedy. The hoist chain was still functioning, pulling the other 3 cars after the first one. The attraction turned into a pile of scrap metal with a few passengers trapped there. Thousands of people immediately began to gather near the accident site. The crowd blocked the path for ambulances, so the police had to break down part of the park fence for doctors to reach the victims. It turned out that 19 passengers got injured and 4 passed away.
4 died, 19 injured. That is crazy. That's a lot better than what I thought, though. I thought everyone was going to die.
Among the victims was Gladys Lundgren and her friend, C.H. Stout, who agreed to accompany the woman on the roller coaster. The youngest victim, 15-year-old Ruth Farrell, was crushed by one of the falling cars. And the 4th victim was a young man, Anthony Politica, who persuaded his 16-year-old sister, Mary, to ride a roller coaster with him. Tony died the next morning, while Mary survived despite a severe skull fracture. The police started an investigation. It turned out that the wheels of one of the carriages jammed due to a mechanical breakdown. This bloody incident eventually led to Krug Park getting shut down and the city of Omaha banning all roller coasters. You could think that the tragedy happened...
That's crazy. The whole city banned roller coasters because of that accident.
That's just over extreme, guys.
Over extreme.
because, in the 30s, little was known about the construction of attractions and the safety rules for them. However, that's not really the case because the design of the roller coaster was patented back in 1885.
1885?
See, that's the problem. It's the year.
On top of that, a similar disaster took place 42 years later in London.
42 years later, there was another similar accident. Do we not learn?
Go on a velocicoaster.
Legendary Battersea Park,
Oh.
which
That's
was
crazy.
opened 4 years earlier than Disneyland. Oddly enough, a roller coaster there was also called Big Dipper. The giant
What happened to what?
What?
What happened?
Nothing happened.
On the Velocicoaster?
Oh, nothing happened on the velocicoaster.
Oh, I thought you
What
said
is that?
someone died on the Velocicoaster. I was like, see, and you want me to go on that ride. That's crazy.
Okay,
That is crazy.
giant wooden ride had been operating successfully since 1951 up until one of the worst tragedies in the history of roller coasters happened there. In mid-May of 1972, the British school holidays had just begun and Battersea Park was overcrowded. Children and teenagers took their seats on Big Dipper. But right when they were first riding up, the traction cable broke and the carriages flew downward, speeding up with every second.
Ooh. Oh no. The cables broke. Vehicles are going fast.
The braking system failed, so the
Braking
cars
system
went off the
failed.
rails and crashed into each other.
They went off the rails and crashed into each other. I know that you guys, I'm just sound like I'm repeating things, but I'm repeating it for her to hear. Because she's not listening. I'm not, well, I mean, like, not. She can't hear my headphones. That's what. Okay. My bad.
Trapping dozens of people in the wreckage. Everything happened just like in Krug Park, except this time the number of victims spiked up to 5 children, with 13 more seriously injured.
5 children were dead, 13 were injured.
This caused a terrible uproar among local residents. Still, it was the incident investigation that shocked everyone indeed. Apparently, there were problems at every step. Altogether, investigators found 66 violations, including
How did they even get past? I guess it is back then, so like people used to bribe the police and everything, but that's crazy. They had 66 violations with the ride. That is wild.
missing brakes, an unmaintained traction cable, warped track, and outdated parts that were almost 50 years old. In addition, the wooden emergency walkway rotted, and one of the passengers who survived the impact fell from there and died. But it doesn't end there. The police discovered that the attraction's operators were under the influence of alcohol or drugs at the time of the accident.
That's even worse, dude. Man, the 1900s were crazy. I mean, you can't work without drinking alcohol. The operator was drinking while operating the roller coaster. That's all it was back then.
The amusement park was
I'm
closed.
acting like I was there. That's just how history said it was like, okay? My bad for being like, back in my day.
Was 2 years later, but the culprits were never found. It's worth noting that this happens in most such cases, leading to the idea that visitors themselves are to blame for not surviving those rides. As if
Did you just hear what she said? Did you just call me your senior project? That's crazy. That
buying
is
a ticket,
wild.
you give consent, even to your own death. In reality, though, amusement parks have an incredible number of ways to kill you, and not all of them are as obvious as roller coasters going off the rails. For example, Kings Island in Ohio murdered 3 people in one day, but during 2 different incidents. On June 9, 1991, 2 friends were walking by a pond with fountains in the park. One of them, Timothy Benning, wanted to splash his friend, William Haithcote, as a joke. However, as soon as the man touched the pond, he fainted and fell into the shallow water.
What?
His friend immediately rushed to help, but the same thing happened to him. Park employee Daryl
I
Robert.
heard about that. Oh,
notice
it's about the loose electricity that was in the water that made the water like have the people go into cardiac arrest. Cardiac. My bad. I can't English today, guys. You know, I was struggling trying to set up a damn stream, and now I can't fucking English. I'm not abusive, guys. Oh, should we let Cadbury out?
Dude, you're streaming. He's gonna bark up a storm.
You're right.
A strange accident and rushed to the visitors. Obviously, the result was the same. It turned out that they were all struck by a powerful discharge of electric current because the damaged wire of the fountain electric pump was lying right in the water. As a result, Benning, who was the first to fall into this trap, got seriously injured but
That's
survived.
yeah.
Unfortunately, 2 of his rescuers weren't that lucky. Of course, this wouldn't have happened if a simple automatic switch had been installed on the underwater equipment. Moving on, it wasn't the only tragedy at Kings Island that day. About an hour after the pond incident, 32-year-old drunk Candy Taylor decided to ride the Flight Commander attraction right before the park closure. But soon, she flew out of the carousel, falling from a height of 21 meters.
That's
Taylor
crazy.
was alone in the cabin, so no one knows for sure why the seatbelts didn't work. Maybe she wanted to see the medical helicopter taking away injured Timothy Benning. Unlike him, the woman didn't survive.
Yeah, that's sad. The exact same day some guy survived that electric shock, a lady went on to another ride and the seatbelts weren't working and she fell 70 feet in the air.
Wow.
She did not make it.
I assumed that.
I assumed.
Falling off is indeed one of the biggest dangers on rides. Yet such terrible and unpredictable incidents sometimes happen that it's scary to even talk about them. One of them took place at Schlitterbahn Water Park in Kansas City.
Oh no,
A water
water
slide
park?
was set up there, which, according to all the laws
Yeah,
of common
those
sense,
things are
just shouldn't
not
exist.
okay.
However, the co-owners of the water park, Jeff Henry, along with designer John Shuley, wanted to create the largest and fastest water attraction on Earth. None of them had experience in building such structures, so the men chose the trial and error method. Finally, in 2014, they opened an attraction that could potentially throw visitors from a height of almost 51 meters, and named it Verrückt, meaning crazy in German. In 2 years afterward, perhaps one of the most horrific accidents in the history of amusement parks happened there. The Schwab's family came to Schlitterbahn with their 4 sons. Parents let their 12-year-old Nathan and 10-year-old Caleb go down the highest water slide attraction. The boys climbed up, while the rest of the family was waiting for them below. Caleb went first. After the boy descended almost vertically, reaching a speed of about 113 kilometers per hour, his
70
raft
miles.
flew into the air and crashed into a protective metal net. It should have saved Caleb, but instead, he slammed into the support so hard that he got decapitated.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Ouch. Well, I mean, he wouldn't feel it. But ouch. Just a straight decapitation from the water slide.
Huh.
Because he went vertically down and then he went up into the, like, the guard or whatever. And then the guard didn't stop him, it just completely decapitated him after going 70 miles per hour.
Yeah, I don't think water parks should be a thing.
Okay,
The boy's
I
body
love
and
water
head
parks.
rolled
We
down
went
to the
one.
pool
It
below,
was fun.
where his brothers and mother
It was
were
fun.
waiting
You
for
had
him.
fun.
This story turned
You
out
don't
to
need
be
to lie
so
about that.
daunting
You had
that
fun.
the slide was immediately shut down.
That
And
was
after
fun.
years of investigation, it was
That was the
completely
fun leaving your
demolished.
body.
But guess what? No
That
one
was
was
the
punished
fun
for
leaving
Caleb
my
Schwab's
body.
tragic death,
Not
even
the
though his
fear
father
of
was a
it.
Kansas state representative. If the Verrückt slide seemed
Same
rather
thing.
extreme to you, in Australia,
Same
it was the
difference,
Family River
babe.
attraction that
Alright.
turned out to be deadly. A terrible tragedy took place in the Dream World amusement park on the Gold Coast in Queensland. The place was famous for its unusual family entertainment, a rapid river with stylized banks, which visitors sailed along on special round rafts. The trip took only about 4 minutes, and the speed of movement didn't exceed 45 kilometers per hour, so it was a pretty safe ride, and no one expected what would happen. In October of 2016, as one of the rafts, with 6 passengers on board, was returning to the final route destination, another empty raft appeared stuck in its path. This shouldn't be a problem, right? Still, the attraction didn't stop. Mere seconds before the tragedy, Kate Goodchild and another passenger threw their children aside. The next moment, the rescued girl and boy were screaming frantically because their mothers were dying before their eyes. 4 adults were injured in the collision and then fell into the river. Park officials shut down the ride and pumped out the water, trying to rescue the trapped people. However, none of them survived. Apart from 2 women, Kate Goodchild's brother and her partner passed away as well. Just 2 weeks before the tragedy, another visitor to the park published a negative review of Dreamworld. She and her children noticed technical problems with several attractions at once, adding that on one of them, a seatbelt came undone in midair.
No.
The woman wrote that someone might get harmed one day, and she turned out to be right. Like other incidents mentioned in the video, Thunder River Rapids ceased to exist after the tragedy. The investigation concluded that the accident occurred due to inadequate service and a lack of skills on the part of the staff. But, of course, no one was arrested. It turns out that the giant entertainment industry, which serves hundreds of millions of people around the world, doesn't make any guarantees that you'll stay alive. Even parks with impeccable safety records can't promise that. Take, for instance, Adventureland in Farmingdale, near New York,
Adventureland,
which had operated for 43 years without a single tragic incident, until 2005 changed everything. First, an 18-year-old park employee was crushed on a children's roller coaster. For unknown reasons, the boy fell face down on the rails, and the cars ran over him. And just
Oh, that is... Oh, that's fucked. Oh. Babe, I don't think I'm gonna go on roller coaster rides at the fair.
Brother.
I just don't think it's very safe.
3 days after this incident,
Honestly, I'm
a
not
terrible
against it.
tragedy happened with 45-year-old park visitor
Okay,
Barbara
our fair
Brady.
rides are just crazy.
The woman decided to ride on the attraction called Top Scan, a windmill with 6 blades and 5 seats fixed on each of them. Barbara weighed about 113 kilograms, but the park employee assured her that the attraction had no weight restrictions. And when the carousel was already in motion, Brady was thrown from her seat. The operator immediately stopped the attraction and ran for help. The woman flew over the park wall, more than 7.5 meters high, and fell on the car windshield parked there.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so a woman who was concerned about weight limit, right? She asked, and the upper was like, oh, there's no weight limit on this ride at all.
She was too heavy in it.
So when she got on, she was swung over the place's walls, and she landed in the parking lot on a car windshield.
How heavy was she?
250 pounds.
Really? It only took 250 pounds to do that much?
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's
that
what
was
I'm.
poorly made to begin with.
No, that's crazy. That's literally 30 more pounds than I am.
The force of the blow threw her to the ground. The woman died on the spot, clinging to life a few minutes after the fatal blow.
Yeah.
However, the cause of the accident turned out to be rather mysterious. None of the other Top Scan passengers noticed anything unusual about Barbara. Besides, the carousel is equipped with a built-in mechanism that prevents it from starting unless all seatbelts are locked. Moreover, there was no noticeable damage to Barbara's seat. However, the results of the investigation are unknown. Moreover, although Top Scan was closed forever, the Adventureland itself continued working, as if nothing had happened. Roller coasters still remain the leader among the most dangerous attractions. This proved another incident that this time happened in the Canadian Fantasyland in June of 1986. 2 best friends, Rod Chaco and David Sager decided to make their dream come true and ride on the highest indoor roller coaster in the world,
Okay.
Mindbender. It rose up to
Mindbender.
44 meters and had a triple loop. When the men arrived at the park, they were just in time to take the last 2 seats at the
It was a triple loop roller coaster. That's crazy.
end of the carriage.
I feel like I'm saying
The ride
that's crazy
activated
a
as
lot.
usual, but during the first loop, Rod
That's
noticed their
crazy,
car rocking
babe.
strangely from side to side. He gripped the
That's
safety bar,
massive.
yet it didn't hold him in the seat during the next steep
Didn't even say that.
turn. The guy flew over David and fell off the attraction. The worst was yet to come. At the third loop, the last
The
car
worst was
broke
yet to
away
come.
from the rest, slowed down, flew downward, and crashed into a concrete support. A minute
Damn.
later, Rod Chaco came around without any idea of how he had just flown out of the roller coaster. He tried to get up but felt pain all over his body. Not being able to breathe properly, Chaco also noted his unnaturally twisted legs and guessed what had happened. As the man flew over the fence, he was found only 15 minutes afterward. When the doctors finally got to Rod, they were horrified. So the world's largest indoor slide may continue to operate. It would seem that this number of gruesome deaths should be enough to make amusement parks take safety more seriously. Still, the attractions keep attracting an increasing number of accidents. The only difference is that now they are also filmed. Like, for example, in Ohio in July of 2017.
2017.
The attraction called Fireball was a favorite spot for
Okay. See, we just got that one ride.
18-year-old cousins Travis and Mitch Taylor. The attraction swayed like a pendulum and at the same time rotated around its axis, raising people up to 12 meters. On July 26th, the cousins came to the Ohio State Fair for the 9th year in a row to conquer the Fireball. However, they got hungry on the road and stopped at food shops. This is probably what saved the boys' lives. After a few minutes, their favorite attraction suddenly crashed into a concrete support. The powerful impact tore out a whole row of seats. A few more people's safety belts failed, and they fell from a height of over 6 meters. 7 people got injured, and 1 passenger didn't survive. Fireball was immediately shut down, not only at the Ohio State Fair, but throughout the state as well. The owners of the amusement parks decided not to take any risks once again and blamed the attraction's manufacturer for the tragedy. The Ohio State Fair remains one of the largest in the United States, with about 1 million visitors annually. Yet, even if all possible safety rules are
I feel like all fairs just have a very similar look to them. You know, like we all kind of use the same fonts on like burger shops, things like that. I don't know. I'm just seeing things like Ohio this state, and I'm looking at your guys' other fairs and I'm like, we have that ride.
Looks just like mine, guys.
followed in amusement parks. Something unpredictable can still happen there.
Oh,
For
yeah,
instance,
we got Twister.
as it happened in September of 2003 in Disneyland, one of the attractions in this legendary amusement park is the bright Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Thunder Mountain.
I've gone on that. That ride is that ride's so fun.
This is not an extreme slide, but a family attraction stylized as a real canyon. On the morning of September 6th, something went completely wrong.
Something
The
went
carriage,
wrong.
filled with people, followed its usual route until it reached the dark, narrow
Yeah, I
tunnel
waited
that is part of the attraction. There, the first car derailed out of
When it got to that dark, narrow tunnel, the first car derailed.
Oh. Did anyone die?
the blue, blocking the passage. Some of the frightened passengers were able to get out of the trap on their own, but other people were badly injured, so they desperately called for help. Firefighters arrived at the accident scene in a matter of minutes, followed by ambulances. However, they couldn't reach the affected people. At first, the rescuers wanted to use special mechanical jaws, which were used to get the wounded who were stuck in the wreckage of cars.
That's crazy.
But the equipment simply wouldn't fit in the narrow tunnel. Therefore, firefighters had to work manually. In the end, the rescue operation took almost an hour. 1 passenger passed away.
1 died.
Were they in the front car?
And 10 others, including a 9-year-old child, were injured.
10 others were injured. 1 died. It was because when the carts got flipped over, the medical team was going to try to get their big equipment to try and cut through, but it wouldn't fit into the tunnel. So they had to have firefighters go in and manually do it, and it took an hour for them to just rescue everybody. Which everyone could have survived, but they just didn't make it to the last guy in time.
The attraction was closed for the investigation and then relaunched again. But if the incident in Disneyland can be called unexpected, what happened in the Chinese Eco-Venture Valley is a real mystery. This is a giant amusement park located in the city of Shenzhen.
Oh, hell no.
There was one of the most incredible and mysterious attractions, Space Journey. This is a 24-meter dome with a kind of space rocket launch simulator under it.
What the
40
hell?
passengers in 10 separate cabins could fly in a centrifuge simultaneously, experiencing an acceleration twice
that
Earth's
is fun
gravity.
on the inside. But
However,
like,
in July of
being
2010,
there,
a
ugh.
terrible accident happened there, and 6 people died, while 10 more got injured. Nevertheless,
died.
neither the park employees nor the police ever explained what happened. Passengers of the notorious attraction who witnessed the tragedy say completely different things. Some claim that the electricity went out before the accident. Others say they heard an explosion, or even several. In the end, the cause of the tragedy remained a mystery. Some even thought the explosion was specially arranged, perhaps by the park's competitors, because the unique attraction hasn't worked since then. Either way, there are countless attractions around the world that can kill you in various ways. What do you think? Is it worth taking such a risk to have fun for a few minutes? Share your thoughts, and don't forget to like,
Sir, why are you
subscribe,
making me
and
doubt
ring the bell.
wanting to go on rides? Think about it. Is it worth? Alright, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I've been recently live streaming a lot more, so my Twitch is going to be down in the description down below. You guys can go ahead and click on that. That's just where all these videos are going to start coming from now, just because it works together and it helps me make more content for you guys. I think it sounds great. So yeah, we're going to be doing that more. We're going to be live streaming more, so tune into those if you guys would like to do that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment in the comment section down below on what you enjoyed on the video, and smash that like button. Thank you guys so much, and have a good day. Peace out, guys.